6:33 after the hour on the Doug Stephan Good Day program. Roberta Fasanelli, Heather Bachman, Jennifer Horn, Rich McFadden, and a gentleman named Carrie Lee Peterson is here with us. This is pretty interesting time in our country and in our world. We have lots of people talking about the environment and how to protect our environment and how to protect people, and yet we still find ourselves kind of wondering or questioning what the right thing to do is. Carrie Lee Peterson's company is called ECCO2 Tech. ECCO, ECCO, the number 2 after it. Actually has a pretty interesting, Richie, if you check out this Rich, well, the reason I bring it to Rich is because Rich always likes to check out who's here. He'll go to the company and look, there's a very interesting logo attached to this. It's an acronym for Environmental Control of Carbon Dioxide, and now has not only a company brewing here in America, but all around the world. Carrie Lee Peterson, welcome to Good Day.
Hey, good morning, guys.
So this technology that you're working on, how is it different than many of the other things? Environmental control of carbon dioxide, a lot of words. What does it mean?
Well, overall, you've got a lot of different elements that go into the generation of carbon emissions, and that's really what you're focused on. And when we talk about our GHGs or greenhouse gases, overall carbon emissions can be created by just me and you talking. Not even being humorous. Are
you suggesting that we have a lot of gas? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, there are some people that do talk a lot of helium, but, right. In reference to our actual carbon emissions, at a more serious side, our energy that we use, whether it being natural gas, regular petroleum that we use in our cars, the electric that we take for granted we use in our homes and our buildings, all of that generates carbon emissions. And a lot of people, they're not aware of that we can put everything hand in hand in one box and label it something. But overall, anything that is man-made energy, the majority of it, will create some type of carbon emissions, and this is overall what the primary focus is. But, you've also got your focus on energy efficiency, because if you're still one of those people who believe that, the greenhouse gases and the whole climate change is a real factor in our everyday lives, which, we don't need to get on the politics of that.
No, I mean, it becomes a very negative or a polarizing conversation. What fascinates me about what you do or what this company is about is the way that you have grown it very quickly, and what it sort of acknowledges that there's a problem. I mean, I think you start with, yep, there's a problem. Never mind the political thing. There is a problem.
Let's say whether you're to the far left or right in the middle, okay? Can we agree on one thing, that we do use a lot of energy, that we're somewhat of, taking for granted the ability to flick a light switch or go turn on an amenity or an appliance in our homes? We turn things on. When you go places in the different regions of the world, they've got a different rate schedule for what they charge their civilians and their businesses in the community for energy. We really take that for granted as individuals that walk around in this world. And whether you believe about, the climate change or you're in the middle and you somewhat are a believer, do you believe that, yes, we need to, probably be more aware and conscious of the energy we use? Well, you're probably going to agree on one or all of those particular topics, and that's what ECCO2 is all about.
Here's sort of what I am. One of the things that's intriguing about this company, it is an American company headquartered down in Austin, Texas, and your biggest clients, if you will, are customers. We think in America we're on sort of the cutting edge. We hear a lot, again, politics. Okay, this politician wants us to do it this way, and another politician says, no, the old way is fine. You're finding your biggest success as an American company working outside of America, right?
Well, think about it. There's a lot of business to be done right on our American soil, and our products are produced and manufactured. They're made in America. But let's go even further than that, okay? Everybody probably, they did a lot of transitioning, and the awareness grew when the credit and our supposed recession, you know, whether you believe it's still active or it's actually recovered, and you know, we've actually made some progress since 2008. Well, okay, we still need to create something to go down our supply chains, and we need our end users to be other end users outside of the United States, that we're creating new streamlines of revenue from international trading and export.
All right, so is this a two-pronged approach? The reason that I brought it up, my assumption, and that's always dangerous, you know what the word assumption means, is that the opportunity was greater outside America because even though we are abusive to a point here in this country, it's far more a problem what is spewing into the atmosphere from Africa, from Asia, from most every other part. I don't know, South America, I think they got a better handle on it. But you know, you look around some of these developing countries, even if you consider China and India to be developing countries, the stuff that's in the air over those countries is far worse than what we have here in our country.
Well, you got a few elements then that also go into these statistics. You can actually go into Wikipedia, believe it or not, and you know, it's not totally up to date, but it's pretty accurate as far as our carbon footprint. You go into Wikipedia and you search the keyword carbon emissions and greenhouse gases, and what they'll do is they'll give you pretty much the breakdown of the statistics of the carbon footprint generated by, you know, transport or facilities or, you know, man-made purposes. And overall, you've got, you know, 700 people, or I'm sorry, 7 billion. Oops, you know, I'm off probably by about 100 years with that particular stat, but 7 billion people that in this world that we all use, you know, electronics. We move around. We, you know, create carbon emissions just with our everyday movement, breathing, our living habits. So when you look at all those elements of our lifestyles, it doesn't matter whether you're in, you know, South Africa or you're in Ireland, you're still going to be utilizing these. You know, you say, for example, you've got a lot of developing countries that, you know, me and you might have an electric stove in our homes. You know, we use maybe a you know, gas grill or propane, you know, just for leisure. You know, and you go to these different countries, like you go down to Haiti, and they're still using, you know, charcoal, actual, not
right.
a grill, but a charcoal oven that they'll make a baked chicken in their home like me and you do in our electric GE stoves.
All right, so that's the point. There is so much different. So now let's talk about what ECCO2 does to help these countries, an American company, to help people in these countries and organizations and companies themselves in other countries to clean up their air, clean up their act.
Well, overall, we've got very conventional patent technologies. These are probably a little bit more established. They're not a lot of the, you know, startup and the newbies or the products that are out there that, you know, a lot of the companies try to go green, and I've got nothing negative against them. We like to, you know, do our research and our study on a lot of these new technologies that are up and coming, or they've actually been out there, but they haven't emerged into the mainstream market. We definitely like to, you know, trial and error to see if it's a, you know, a viable solution. But overall, some of the key words are sustainability, and you know, the sustainability, and you know, is it something that's economically viable? Can I use it, and is it universal? If it's a product, say for example, a product we use, which is a metal conditioner, it's a patent that it's injected in the refrigeration and air conditioning units. This is something that, you know, they utilize all over the world. Obviously, you know, more higher end users in developing countries. Say for example, if you were to go to you know, Zimbabwe, for example, you'd probably not find in your regular households a AC unit like you would going into me and your home in United States and find central air or some type of conventional air conditioning unit. Whereas the technology itself, it's very simple. The product it's injected in an oil form into your refrigeration or AC unit, whether it being a facility, building, transport, and it reduces the energy consumption overall by that particular component. So when you're reducing the consumption of energy overall, you're going to be reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, the carbon emissions that particular machine or component or vehicle generates. So,
right. So
you don't have to go and create these products that, much like forestation, for example, that reduces carbon emissions. It's a very conventional way, but we can probably industrialize that with these particular products that they're just very simple. It's nothing really sophisticated.
It's a practical, simple way of dealing with these problems. And one of the reasons that Kerry Lee caught my attention is because of what he's doing, what he's looking for in order to make the company grow. So this is the story is an American company that's growing, and I think he's a pretty good example of the kinds of things that are going on in the country that aren't much being talked about. People who have come up with ideas, they're growing the company, and so this is an example of that. So we're going to tell you what is the bottom line here in just a matter of moments. 15 before the hour on Good Day. 12 minutes before the hour, Doug Steffen's Good Day program. Kerry Lee Peterson, the president of ECCO2, a technology company that is a project developer organization that is trying to help people in countries all around the world, as you listen to Kerry Lee explain what was going on with the sort of simple ways of dealing with the environment and things that we are spewing out that are pollutants. So you're trying to hire people, and this is the message that I was interested in beside your company. You got about a minute here to explain who you're hiring and why, Kerry.
Well, we're currently hiring, veterans for U.S. military that are transitioning out of their current duty that they're serving. Our primary focus, obviously, we're employing Americans, but foremost, if you're a military veteran, we definitely those guys have served our country, and I think that with a lot of the job opportunities that are out there, those guys definitely should be taken care of upon their return from overseas and being on tour and on assignment. So
let's say you are in the service or you're a member of a family serviceman is getting out. How do they find you to apply for available jobs?
Well, for starters, they can obviously go to our corporate website, ECCO2tech.com, and right on the front homepage there's a big sign that says, jobs. Go click here. They'll take them to the careers page. And then obviously they can, contact our office and then for career opportunities. But all that information you can actually find online, and there's a contact form and a jobs menu.
ECCO2tech.com. So you have hundreds of jobs. You're looking for hundreds of people, right?
Well, thousands, actually.
Thousands of people, all right? Thousands of jobs for those in the military who are transitioning out. ECCO2tech.com. We ought to post that on Facebook, Heather, okay? ECCO2tech.com. Kerry Lee Peterson, the president of ECCO2 Tech, here on Good Day.